Hello, my name is Kyle, and welcome to my final showcase of my Doom Horizon level that I spent, 6 milestones now, 6 weeks working on. I wanted to make a Doom level it's loosely based on the movie Event Horizon, where you come across an abandoned ship in space and explore. So this was my original map for the level and idea. And yeah, I'll just show off how it came out. Um, Looking at the whole sky view of the level here, it came out, very similar to what I wanted the structure to be, and I'll just go through a full playthrough to show how it all works. So the player begins, and the story is you are exploring space on your own spaceship, and you have come across a distress signal. You have followed it to its source and found a ship known as the Event Horizon. It's known that this ship has been lost for years. Its crew is missing, and no one knows what's happened. You see no signs of life on the ship, and we're going to go explore it. So this level begins. And you have an airlock in front of you. So you're on our own ship, which looks distinctly different. There's a few, equipped items here, but you're quickly ushered to move on to the airlock, where we're going to pressurize the chamber so we can enter the other ship. Yeah, it says air pressure unstable. So if we explore around the room a bit, we'll see that there is an airlock pressurizer here. Great. So we can go find something to use there. Power core, oxygen canister. We'll plug it in. We have a little sequence here where we pressurize the chamber and then open the door so we can enter onto the ship, the Event Horizon. When you enter the ship, there's this middle bridge hallway section. It's pretty eerie. And yeah, you'll see there's, a little hint of some stuff here, but we don't need to collect it right away. But the player will have an option to collect 5 oxygen canisters throughout the level. This will be needed at the end of the level to finish, but for now you're not told that. You can just explore. The initial chamber also has joined the atmosphere here, and we're going to pick up this other oxygen canister we left behind. So exploring the ship, no signs of life, but we're not sure what happened here, so we'll just try and explore and see what happened. So yeah, built out this hallway section with some props to just set up sort of a event staged here. We come across this green door, cannot go through it. We need a key card. If we explore around a little bit, we will see something here. Yeah, this player gives us, or this dead soldier gives us the red key card. So that's about all we can do on this side. Let's keep exploring this hallway. You can see these barrels here have some signs placed on them. We move along to the back of the ship. Now this side has 2 wing sections and then the back engine room. So we can explore a little bit. This wing section is not open available to us. The other side, there's a little bit of an area of a wing section here, but requires gray key card, so that's all we could explore for now. Moving on to this red door, which we can now open because we have the red key card. We see this engine room, and there's a bit of exploration here to do. We can see there's a console here that is covered up by this nasty nest. Probably should get rid of that. So I'm going to go pick up this plasma rifle, just in case, something's about to go down. And this is our first fight. It spawns a little boss demon for the player to engage with. I find that the plasma rifle helps, or this plasma rifle helps a lot with this fight because you can use its second ability to freeze the enemy and then get up close without fear of being hit. But he does require a takedown to complete, so that's a little tricky. You might require the player to get into the takedown spot a few times before you kill it. Once that demon's dead, you will see a green keycard now spawns, so we're able to go to the other half of the ship. We can explore this room a little bit more and find one of those missing oxygen canisters. This power terminal in the middle can't be used yet. It looks like there's some wiring here, and we're missing some sort of power core here, so we'll just keep searching. These power cores clearly don't fit in there. Moving on to the back of the ship. Or from the back of the ship, we're going to crawl across the hallway again. Later on, there is a sequence in this hallway where these barrels explode. a lot of my work in the last couple weeks was going into creating this sequence and making sure it works properly, making sure the player respawns if they die. You'll see that later. Now that we can enter the front half of the ship, we're going to see the bridge and the crew area, and we'll also get a few more little demon spawns around here. So this is sort of the bridge, and we just have some sort of zombie engineers roaming around for the player to engage with a little bit. So it's not just totally boring to explore the front half of the ship. Up here is the bridge section, the front, the control room of the ship, but that is not accessible. We need to restore power to open that area. That would be in the engine room back where we just were. So we still need to look for that core. The other area we can't explore down here. And you see there's some more little demon fights. There's some people stuck back here. A lightning gun over here. So we're exploring the back section of the ship. There's some areas that just sort of makes it look a little bit bigger than it is. And then we can continue down here. Ah! Oh, there's a bit of a surprise fight there. That's one of these giant eyeball demons. I just like playing with the verticality of this room. It had such a high ceiling. Thought it'd be fun to use one of these flying guys. It's the only one on the map. It's a bit of a surprise because it's so hazy, you can't really see it coming. This room spawns another mini-boss fight. A few of these laser guys in here. Once you slay both of them, you will see a prompt for the gray key card back here. That will get us to that wing section of the ship that was closed off before. And keen-eyed players will also explore and find another core here, the yellow power core. That is the navigation core for the ship, which we'll need later. There's a few secrets hidden around the map if you explore and look up in the rafters. For instance, there's a quad damage up there. If you explore around, there is a minigun over here. That's going to be helpful. But there's a few other things, hidden around in the rafters that if you go exploring, you'll be rewarded for. Making our way back to the other side of the ship. I'll admit there's a bug here on this level. On your second time going back through here, once you have the great key card, there should be a few demons spawning in this area, and those spawns have broken in my last build of the game. So I didn't have time to go back and fix those, but there should be a few demons on this section. But the main point is coming back to this gray area. This wing section of the ship now opens up. We can explore a bit. And we have one of these guys with a shield, which forces some, close quarters combat for the player, unless they have this sort of plasma rifle equipped, where they can use the phase ball to remove the shield. There's also some equipment in here, just a grenade and some health if you're low on health, because the player doesn't really know it, but they're about to come on to sort of a big encounter, the last encounter of the map. That would be the 5th green oxygen canister. And now we want to turn the power on, so we have that gray power core that goes here, which should activate this console, and now we can restore power. And if you've seen the movie, what happens when you restore power to the ship is you unleash a portal to hell, and all the demons start coming out and attacking you. So this is probably the biggest fight that the player will have in the game. It is a lockdown encounter where once you restore power and open up this portal in the back, you have about a minute that you have spawns and waves to deal with demons that get increasingly difficult as time goes on. This fight is quite tough as it escalates as time goes on. I've had times where I didn't die, times where I died 4 or 5 times trying to defeat it. So it's fun to play with the pillars and the verticality of this level. Also, very dependent on which guns you had equipped. You can only equip 2 guns in my setup currently. So you do have a tough choice to decide, do I want to take the minigun, the plasma rifle, the shotgun? You're leaving one behind if you, take the others. There's a pistol and a lightning gun as well. So I find the minigun helps a lot in this fight. There's just so many enemies coming at you. The pistol doesn't really do too well. The shotgun helps on close range, but not far. And there are on these final spawns some flying demons. Sometimes some skulls will spawn at you. So you want some ranged weapon, but this fight can be a little tough if you didn't quite prepare well for it. So some players might see a bit more of a challenge than others, depending on what equipment you found hidden throughout the level. There's not a ton of equipment spawns or health spawns throughout the level. You do get a lot of health back by fighting the demons. But yeah, I want it to be equipment, health, and ammo are scarce, as well as the guns themselves. There we go. So power has now been restored, and the fog and the haze that the ship was shrouded in before is sort of gone. We can see the lights are now on, and the ship has been restored to power. So we can go back to the front, and now let's go see, what the bridge was like. As I said, there's a few side objectives on the map in order to finish. The level ends on the bridge section up here, but first thing you have to do, obviously, to get here is restore power. Now the door will open. This is the bridge. We need to do a few things before we can access, the controls up here. As you can see, one objective has already appeared. Fill oxygen tanks, find all 5 canisters. So if the player hasn't already found all 5 tanks and put them where they're supposed to be, this will pop up showing you need to go back and do that. As well as a navigation core here, the yellow nav core. Now, I did collect the yellow nav core. It would show you where it is if you hadn't. But our oxygen isn't ready, so we cannot input that yet. What we can do is kind of look around. There seems to be some cryo chambers here with some skeletons and stuff inside them, and that one seems to be moving a bit. But we need to go fill the oxygen tanks. So that would be the next objective. Grabbing the yellow core at the mini-boss event was another one. If you hadn't grabbed that before, it would show up on your UI right now to go pick up. So we restored power to the ship. Next, we need enough oxygen so that we can leave.
One, two, 3, 4, 5. Life support restored.
Sweet. Now the life support has been restored and the power's on. We should be able to pilot the ship out of here. So let's go. Nope. Here we go. So in the movie, at this point, when they get enough oxygen, the bridge is exploded and they have to use the front half of the ship as a lifeboat. So at this point, the player is tasked to run, and if they don't, they are hit by this explosion and killed. This is sort of the main sequence of the final part of the level. I had to set it up so that if you died during this event, you could reattempt it, right? So there's some checkpoints here that reset if you die. But now that we have reset, we can try again. We see the barrels exploding. Back half of the ship is no longer usable. We can see that there's fire back here, there's fire back there. If we try and run back there, we'll just die. So the only option is to run and run towards the front of the ship and make it to the front half before the back half is completely exploded. So here we'll attempt that. And here we see now that the back half is locked off. It has been exploded, and you just see open space. There's also some set dressing here with some smoke and some sparks and everything to make it sort of look just broken. So the remainder of the level, you are trapped in the front half of the ship and attempting to use the bridge to escape. So we got our nav core on us, we've restored our oxygen, and we're ready to head towards the front. Okay. Restore the nav core. Now we can see these computers have lit up navigation core online, nav core detected. Now it says oxygen online, 5 out of 5 canisters. We are good to go and ready to leave. Ah! One last surprise. Oh gosh. And then another. Invisible Pinky. Okay, yeah. So once you've powered on the hibernation chambers, one opens up and there was an enemy that just comes at you. It's very much a surprise for the player. It happens behind their back, so he also might run towards you and explode on you. It's definitely a shock moment. But now, in order to end the level, we have prepared the ship, the navigation core is in, the oxygen's restored, and we're ready to leave. We have to put ourselves in cryosleep. So this chamber over here has lit up and has become available, and now we can enter the cryo chamber to travel home to safety. And that's the end of the level. Pretty much all of the goals I had did end up getting complete. A few things didn't quite work right, but using the tools, I was able to really accomplish what I wanted to. So I'm super stoked and happy with how it came out. Thanks for watching.